Hopefully. All right, it is Friday. And you know what that means? It's time for manufacturing e-commerce success. And I am one of the co-hosts right here, Damon Pistolka. That pretty gentleman right over there is Kurt Anderson, co-host with the most. Today we're going to be taking a sneak peek design or sneak peek behind the scenes. I can't even talk. I'm so excited this morning, Kurt.
Yeah.
At the Industrial Marketing Summit for 2025. I was so excited I didn't even know what to say because the Industrial Marketing Summit is such a great event. Kurt, take it away.
Hey, Damon, great. Let's give a round of applause for Damon. Great job,
Damon. I am definitely speaking challenge this morning. I've only had one cup of coffee. It's,
Hey, guys, happy Friday. So welcome to the program. Man, is this going to be fire. Holy cow, man. We've got two rock stars, man. In 2 weeks from today, there's like a massive event called the Industrial Marketing Summit. If you haven't checked it out, you want to Google it. 2 weeks from today, Damon. So I had the link. We're going to dive into it. But hey, I want to start with my dear friend. She's a Chicago gal. She's down in Florida, just catching some sun. Kasey, how are you? Happy Friday to you.
Hello. Happy Friday. I know I had to get away from the cold Chicago weather, and then I'll be back in Austin for Industrial Marketing Summit to catch some more sun. So trying to stay warm over here.
Man. All right. So I've got weather envy. And then what's your title at the conference, by the way? Like do you have like a little role with the Industrial Marketing Summit?
It's truly a behind the scenes episode because I work totally behind the scenes. My title is speaker and sponsor liaison. So I work with all of the speakers, all of the sponsors, make sure they're up to date on everything, set up for success. So you'll get some behind the scenes details from me.
Oh, how cool is this? And then we have none other. So we've got Mr. Moby in the house. Moby. And dude, best mustache and you know what, Ray? I thought Ray's the guy.
I'll fight somebody for that title.
Yeah,
let's go.
That Moby. And so Moby, what's your title at the conference?
I am going to be emceeing.
All right. Can you give a shout out about you don't even need to acknowledge it because everybody just sees it,
it's really in your face.
It's kind of like,
it's in your face. Yeah.
Damon, we need to end the show. Like I'm so jealous right now. So that is, man. And it's all gray. It's not good. So, all right, Kasey, we're going to go here. Let's start with you. So I've got, all right. Did I send you guys questions? Did I send you any questions ahead of time?
We're improvising here.
Okay, good. Because I'm not going to follow any of the questions that I sent out anyway. So let's start here. So
big one.
We're going to go back and forth. So Moby, you kick back, relax. It's all about Kasey for a minute. Enough about the mustache, right? Like Mr. Wonderful Mustache. We're going to talk about Kasey for a minute. So Kasey, let's go here. When you were a little girl growing up, now Moby, I'm coming at you with a totally different question. Now, Kasey, when you were a little girl growing up, who was your hero? Who was your hero that you looked up to, just showered you with unconditional love? Who was your hero when you were a little girl growing up?
Oh my gosh. Well, showered me with unconditional love was my mother, obviously. She was a single mom growing up, so learned about all kinds of independence, strength from her, that kind of thing. But I think, so she would, obviously, that's an easy answer, right? My mom.
Your mom. And what's your mom's name?
Karen.
Hey, you know what? How about big shout out to Karen let's give a round of applause to Karen for just producing this wonderful speaker and sponsor liaison. Am I close on that? Was I close? Right. Okay.
And she's hosting me in Florida, so this is all on her dime too.
Man, how about who doesn't need Karen in there? So all right, give Karen a big hello. So Moby, I'm signing over to you, man. I have a totally different question. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready?
Yeah. So when I was a little girl, I'm kidding.
So when you before you had that rockin' mustache, when you were a little guy growing up, who was your hero?
So I'll separate that. I'll say hero without unconditional love because that person doesn't know I exist. He is David Beckham because I saw him score a goal against Greece and how he did it. It blew my mind and got me into sports for the first time. So I'm simply going to say Beckham.
So Beckham was your hero growing up. You know what? Hey, while we're talking, maybe Google it. We'll pull it. I'm just kidding. So we'll pull it, So all right. So David Beckham, who showered you with unconditional love? Let's go there, Moby.
Parents. Like my mom was great. Dad was great. Brother was great, even though we fought all the time.
Yeah.
We were big fans of wrestling, that definitely led to some blood sometimes. But hey.
Yeah.
Hey, if you didn't draw blood, like you're not even trying, right? Come on.
I know. What's the point of a sibling?
Well, it's a point. Okay, so let's go here. So Kasey, you are from TREW Marketing, and Moby is with Gorilla 76, dear friends of ours. And just I tell you, you guys do amazing, incredible work. And you get the two companies. I mean, and be honest with you, I talked with Joe and Wendy about this. Like, I mean, you're actually competitors. And what's just so amazing is that you got two companies that have come together, and like we had a front row seat. So I was with those guys in Cleveland, whatever year that was. I don't know, it's COVID year 22. And we were at the Industrial Marketing Summit, and they're like, hey, you know what? We think we can do this better ourselves. And sure enough, did it last year. So Kasey, before we dive deeper into the conference, just share a little bit, like what attracted you to marketing? So I don't know if Karen helped with your career, maybe if whatever young person you got into marketing, and then you found yourself in marketing for manufacturers. What kind of led you in that direction?
Well, I knew from an early age, I remember sitting in my math class in high school and being like, you know what, my career is probably not going to have a lot of math in it.
Nice.
So I immediately was like, I'm going to probably be public relations is my major.
Right.
But writing was my strength. English was my strength. So definitely marketing was more of my field, my wheelhouse, like creative, graphic design, that kind of thing. So that's where I started. And then my first few jobs were in B2B, like software or IT staffing. But then switching to TREW Marketing, I've been there for 2.5 years, and that's more engineering technical. So I had a little bit of B2B software marketing, but this is a totally different ballgame with highly technical content and industrial marketing. So that's how I ended up in TREW.
Awesome. And no math, right? Just kind of like keep putting that in the back burner.
Well,
right?
Now it's crazy because thankfully we have excellent content writers, and they will send me blogs that I have to publish and promote, and it'll have like a lot of mathematical equations involved in there, and I don't even know, but I'm the one that's putting them in the blogs, trying to make them look good. And I'm like, thank God I don't need to know this, but our writers do.
That's awesome. All right. Well, hey, and what a great team. I've had a pleasure of meeting a number of your teammates. Wendy is a dear, dear, dear friend. And so just, I think, she just put together just such an all-star team. So Moby, let's go into your background. So mom and dad, your heroes. Let me take that back. Showered you with unconditional love. David Beckham is your hero. Thank you for correcting me. What led you into the world of marketing, and how did you end up kind of like focusing on manufacturers?
Yeah, so I spent the first 5 years of my career in Dell, engineering operations. And then a lot of my friends were starting companies, and they would be like, I have this great idea. I need more customers. And they would all fail. And I would be like, what gets you more customers? Like, how do you take an idea to something that people pay money for? And that got me started into marketing, that content marketing, podcasting. And I kind of just fell into the paid ads, performance marketing side of it. And I loved it. Kasey, like you, great at math in high school, but horrible in college, horrible. Now it's so much math, and I love it. I love the paid ads side of it. Industrial is cool.
So you know what? You like the paid ad side?
I do.
Okay. All right. You know what? We're going to dive deeper there. So, all right. So Kasey, let's come back to you. So for folks that are not familiar with TREW Marketing, it's hard to imagine anybody that isn't, right? Yeah. For anybody not familiar, how do you guys make the world a better place? What does TREW Marketing actually do? How are you making the world a better place?
Well, I think we make the world a better place by being niched down. We're not just like a general marketing agency that takes in any client ever, like consumer brands or anything. We only focus on engineering and technical companies. And because of that, we can really service those clients as best as we can, because we are a technical company. We have technical writers and account managers that know those audiences. So I think strategy first, marketing agency for technical buyers is our bread and butter.
Excellent. So let's talk about what are some of the things on your menu? What are some of the services that you guys provide? Somebody's like, man, you piqued my curiosity. Let's go a little deeper.
Well, It's kind of a funnel. So we do start out with, if you don't know at all, like Moby said, like, why am I not getting any more customers? We can start at the very, very top and start a whole marketing strategy project for you, where we do competitor analysis and all those kinds of things, and then make a strategy for you. We've also done like branding projects for if it's a new product or something, we can start from the ground up there. And then we also do like, which is my wheelhouse, what I do on a day-to-day basis is like the tactical video content, like blog content, white paper content, like the content marketing of things. So you can go big with the whole marketing strategy, or you can just do the like content strategy part of things.
Awesome.
Well, and you guys do a ton of research too. Every year you put out the report, and the name escapes me, but it's an awesome report with all the things that are happening.
Yeah, that is our guiding light too. I know we send that out to anybody who wants to learn. It's called the State of Marketing to Engineers report. And so we research and survey like thousands of engineers and people who, and then we understand how they actually do want to receive technical content, how they are looking for buying things and stuff. So not only can you all have that information, but we use that ourselves to like really guide what our strategy is.
I love that. As a matter of fact, Wendy and I'm just moderating and I'm just kind of kicking back, but Wendy and I are presenting at Purdue University, the whole research report in April. So I'm absolutely thrilled to get it. I know she's going to be presenting it. Now, for those out there that want to, you got to go to the Industrial Marketing Summit to catch it. If you miss it, we've got a little backup plan at Purdue University. We can catch you there. Moby, let's come over to you, my friend. What's going on at Gorilla 76? That like not only best mustache manufacturing, Damon, like best name. I like those guys have the best name in marketing, do they not?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm just gonna say mustache now. Who's our friend in Chicago?
Well, Ray, yeah, I know. We got Ray. I think he might hate
you guys. We got to get you guys together and get a vote going.
Yeah,
I might need some tips. Yeah, I agree.
We've got somebody. So Moby, so let's go here. Just let's talk a little bit about Gorilla 76. How are you guys making the world a better place?
So we're a revenue-focused marketing agency which specializes in demand gen for manufacturers. And I think the two things that are cool are, number one, we're a builder-focused, where a lot of people in industrial and manufacturers, especially smaller companies, they're full of passionate people who like building solutions for others. They're a lot, like Kasey was mentioned, they're technical, they're engineers, they like building, but the marketing side and the growth engine outside of referrals and maybe posting here on LinkedIn, they don't have that. So number one, we help builders take their vision to the future, even bigger companies. Number two, we hopefully make the world a better place by showing them how it's changed. Like, it's not 20 years ago when I can buy a lead list, call 200 people, 180 pick up, and like maybe I set up meetings with 40 of them. Now, if I call people, it doesn't go through. I don't know how many spam risks I got today. So we're helping them navigate this new digital marketing landscape to sell more.
Excellent. Yeah, and I tell you, they've got in the if I'm not mistaken, Gorilla 76. So they started right before the Great Recession, and 7/6 is I think it's the date that they started,
exactly.
Isn't it? Or the month and the year. I think it was July of 06 when they started. And so Joe was just on last month, and we always love having Joe on. So Kasey, let's go here. When you work with let's talk about the engineer, right? The engineer who man, they are brilliant. They can take my pen, and like next thing you know, they've created like some type of contraption, right? However, maybe not the best with marketing. Okay. So what are some, what are some baby steps, or what are some things that you guys do to kind of walk those folks through that process to kind of like show them like how this whole marketing thing works? Can you take me there? Like what's kind of like a engineering marketing 101? Can you take us there?
I would say, like, Damon, you hit it on the head by bringing up the research, because it's so much easier to talk to technical companies, engineers on the other side, and be like, here is some research that we have that proves your audience is on LinkedIn. Your audience is listening to podcasts. They're watching videos more and more than ever. Like the younger audience, younger engineers are getting to be more buyer aged at this point, and this is how they're behaving in their buyer's journey. So coming with facts and like actual research is the easiest way to win them over. And then proving, once they accept that strategy, just constantly sometimes it's overboard, but they have to see the results
Mm-hmm.
numerically and present it in a way that they understand it for them to really buy into marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the results is a big thing. So, they want facts, right? It's just the facts. A lot of people talk about, marketing is emotional or like, how people feel. But when it comes to engineers, they just show me the facts, right? That's all they want.
Give me the data sheet.
Give me the data, right? So, Moby, what do you have to add? Like, what are your thoughts? So, like for engineer out there, maybe a manufacturer, they've had a great run where like word of mouth. And now all of a sudden, like the world's changing on a daily basis, right? And so they're going to start. They reach out to a Gorilla 76, like, hey, we need some help here. Where do you start that manufacturer?
I'm going to add a layer to what Kasey said. She's absolutely right, and say the framework that I look at is if you've got 100 people in your market, and you show them what you do, your offer, your product, your service, about 1 or 2 people will be like, oh, I'm interested right now. 3 or 5 might be interested in the future. 5 to 10, like in the next 18 months. Other people maybe down the line. 40% of people, they don't care. Mm-hmm. And when you're marketing, you're not just talking to the 2%, which is in market right now. You want to make sure you get in front of them, like with content that Kasey oversees. You want to make sure you not only capture the attention of the person who's in market, looking for a solution for a problem that they have, but also you're talking to the people who within 6 months, 18 months will become a buyer and be like, oh, I've got this problem. I know who to talk to. And you want to be the top of mind for not just the person who's in market right now, but down the line for the majority of the people who are also going to be looking in the future.
Yeah. We see that all the time. Like we'll have finally a lead that comes through from a blog or something. And we're like, wow, and it'll be like, they're ready to go. We pass them off the sales. And then we look on HubSpot, which is usually what we have our CRMs in, and they've been looking at our content. Maybe they're not opening the newsletters, but they've looked at a couple different pages, maybe 9 months before. And then you don't hear anything from them. And then you're just content marketing to them constantly. And then they're finally ready. Mm-hmm. So that's always interesting to see because you're like, oh, they've been lurking for a year.
Yeah.
Or more. Yeah. It's weird.
Or more. I mean, I had someone call me and set up an appointment this week that I know it's been 4 years since the piece of content they read. They wanted to talk to me about.
Right. So long, and I think that's a big difference where I think is being specialized for manufacturers is so important because and I'm sure you guys have stumbled into manufacturers that maybe they work with a marketing firm in the past, and that marketing firm, maybe they're working with service providers, maybe they're working with some retail, and they're just like, hey, we're marketers, like we get it. And like what I love what you guys do is like you really stay in your lane, super niched. We're like, you know what? We're not working on Main Street. We're not working with service providers. Like we're laser focused on high level manufacturers, geeky engineering, machinery, that type of thing. Kasey, like coming from your previous life, was it a big adjustment for you to kind of like get into this industrial B2B world? Like how did you assimilate coming into?
Yeah, there was pretty much because I was still doing a lot of content marketing, a lot of white papers, a lot of blog articles. So that didn't change. But like, for example, my previous job, we did a lot of ServiceNow, which is a SaaS company. And that content was more like, this is what it can do. And this is how many hours it can save you. And this is how it affects your bottom line. But it was way more fluffy than the technical content you have to have with an electronics component company. Like that stuff still is in those articles and in those white papers. But you're telling an engineer how to implement a new capacitor or make sure it doesn't overheat or something like that and put in those calculations. And that's not something you would do in software at all.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Moby, what do you have to add?
Great answer. And honestly, I forgot the question.
Yeah. So from say like a retail standpoint, like say, if you're in retail or different sectors, like maybe you're marketing, maybe you're trying to do some branding, maybe you're trying to, if you're targeting teenagers or, different generation, you're using, social media, such as TikTok or other things, when we're really laser focused on that B2B, in the industrial side of things, from your previous life, was there an adjustment coming in, like laser focusing on B2B and industrial manufacturers?
Yeah. Interesting. I think for me, it was less about the marketing itself. The similarity was more, I was in operations a long time. So I really that data and numbers and looking at Excel sheets and finally learning how to make pivot tables, that really carried over. And I realized that that's a true asset to somebody when you have a huge lead list. And sometimes, Kasey, you might have seen this, not everybody has HubSpot and you have to build tables and parse the data. That I fell into. But talking to clients was interesting, where I was coming at it from a marketing perspective.
Yeah.
But manufacturers, they're not marketers. So it's my job to take all that I nerd out about all day, CTR, CPM, audience penetration, all of this, and translate that to business metrics.
Yeah.
That was a learning curve.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned is your specialty paid ads? Is that, or you just really geek out there?
I really geek out there.
Okay, so you know what? Before we get to the top of the hour, I'm going to pull up the Industrial Marketing Summit because I want to catch that in case anybody has a hard stop at the top of the hour. But Moby, let's go into paid ads. Why are you so passionate, or why do you love like geeking out on paid ads?
It's like when it works really well.
Yeah.
The challenge is getting it to a point when it works, because you might have 4 months of nothing. And then suddenly it start working. I worked on advertising campaigns where we're seeing negatives, and then it goes up. And that challenging time in the middle, which is what is happening, and you're like, let's try this, but also sticking to our strategy. I love that part because I can go in and be confident, I can make this work, but it's never what I planned, and it's always something different. And I do love that challenge.
Yeah, it does take a lot of creativity because you're going to bang your head a few times getting there.
Oh, yeah, every day.
So, and you made a great point. And for folks that do you see, maybe for yourself, or do you see folks that like just give up too soon? We're like, man, I can't keep donating money to Google. And like, but when you, like you just said, when like all of a sudden, like, you know.
Yeah, always. And I think it's sometimes when they're working with marketing agencies, it's the responsibility of their marketing partner to set expectations. Like, this is going to take some time. These are the things you can look. But yeah, it's like, you if you want to get in shape and you go to the gym twice and you're like, this isn't working, you're like, okay, that's not enough time. I'd say you definitely want to make sure you're spending a few months there.
Right. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, we can hit that.
I want to hit some of the comments here. We got Usman showed up today and said, hey, greeting from Usman. Thanks for being here today. We got someone else who can't see who it is. They're saying hello. Thanks for being here. Zafar, hello again. Great to see you. Someone else said they like to solve problems. It was back when we were talking about engineers. Very cool stuff here. And then someone said they follow an engineer page on X and they post math problems or ask, did you know, social media kind of stuff. That is, I'm an engineer, man. I love watching that stuff. You get some of how it's made. I'm sitting down.
Nice.
That's the way it is.
All right, so let's dive into, we're here today to talk about the Industrial Marketing Summit. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yep.
If you can. Okay, so Kasey, let's start with you. So you are, again, for people that are just joining us, first off, connect with Kasey on LinkedIn. She does amazing job there. Moby is just rocking it on LinkedIn, so connect with these two folks. Kasey, what is the Industrial Marketing Summit for folks that are not familiar?
So the Industrial Marketing Summit is a marketing summit or conference, but it's exclusively for all those marketers that are working for engineering companies, manufacturing companies, electronic components companies, anything that's highly technical that isn't just normal marketing. Like, you're getting into the weeds of technical content for engineers, for technical buyers. So your marketing strategy is totally unique from if you were going to a huge national marketing conference that really doesn't like meet your needs or answers your specific problem. So that's why this summit was developed just for industrial marketers who are all feeling the same pain points, who are all suffering the same things with any algorithm changes or SEO changes or audience behavior changes. We're all in it together, and we're here to help everybody.
Well, absolutely love it. It's being held in Austin. It's 2 weeks. And so, Moby, again, if somebody just popped in and joined us, what's your title?
MC.
Man, the MC. Damon, man, I feel like really important right now. We got the MC in the house. Yep. So what are you super fired up? What are you expecting? Just give us a little sneak peek preview of what's going to happen here.
Yeah, adding to what Kasey said, I think for me, I'm most excited about the community. which is a lot of people are coming from last time. A lot of people have seen each other on LinkedIn. A lot of people are meeting each other for the first time after being friends on LinkedIn for like 4 years. That's awesome. It's exclusive, like Kasey said. And, everybody's there. Everybody there is in marketing. They're overworked. They have a lot of ideas. There's a lot of pressure from below, from there, about website, email, all of that. And we just want to create a space in which people share ideas about what's working for each other and also just feel part of a community, because the sessions are fantastic. They're amazing, but the people there make it what's special.
Yeah, I'd say it's the whole, it's the total package, right? Once you say Kasey, it's catching the events, hearing the speakers, but really the hallway conversations, going out for a cocktail, getting a meal with somebody, folks like Moby, you just hit on the head, like people that you've known for years. Chris Lukey's one of the speakers. He's going to be on our show on Monday. I knew Chris, pre-COVID, and had the privilege of finally meeting him in person, last year. Can't wait to see him again in 2 weeks. So Kasey, let's give a little, let's hit up a little taste of like some of the speakers. This gentleman here is phenomenal. What's going on here?
Yeah, Paul Rotzer is our keynote. He is the CEO of the Marketing AI Institute. His content is all over our internal Slack. Every day, we're always passing information. He's kind of a guiding light for marketers who are, I would say, all levels of using AI. If you're new to using AI or know you should be using it, but don't, the Marketing AI Institute is a great place to learn. So I have not been to their conference, but one of the reasons why we invited Paul is because his conference is so well received and everybody walks away with it being like, oh, I learned so much, like this is great information. So we are super lucky to have Paul join us as the keynote. And so that'll kick off the event very inspirationally.
Awesome. All right, let's I don't know if there's anybody who doesn't know this guy. Like what's going on here?
Yeah, this year we've had like really like familiar faces. You'll see Jake Hall, you'll see Chris Lukey. Dale Bertrand is making waves. Like we had him last year and he was one of our top speakers. Like everybody learned so much from his presentation. So we have him speaking twice actually. So he's also doing a lot of artificial intelligence sessions.
Yeah, we had the privilege. We just spoke with Dale live on Wednesday, and he's doing this session, and then he's also closing out. He's the closer of the entire conference on Friday, and so can't wait to see Dale. So there's our buddy Chris Lukey right there. Going to do a great job. Anybody else? I know we could go through everyone. Is there anybody else that we want to point out?
Well, we have a mix. I'll just say it's a mix of in-house practitioners and agency people, but we really wanted to hit a lot of the in-house marketers who are in there doing everything, so we can learn from them. So we have, David Newman from Interlocks. He's talking about how to like manage stakeholders, which is a huge roadblock for a lot of those internal marketing teams, how to actually like convey your strategy and all of the KPIs that they set for you, that you need to manage expectations for, all that kind of thing. So really this year, probably all years, we're just trying to make sure we have a lot of practitioners that can share all their knowledge.
Yeah, so, I love it. And we had, Dave and I had Carla on our live show last year. Man, I'll tell you, she is a powerhouse. So like if they're like, she's worth, everybody's phenomenal. She's the worth of admission. Just going to Austin to catch Carla. She's doing amazing work with AI. That's true. So, Moby, anything, and what are you super excited about? I know everybody, but anything that you want to highlight here as we're going through the list?
The talk about AI from both Dale, especially about his inbound playbook, that's awesome. If you scroll down, there's our guy Dale, and then there's going to be, I'm super excited about this because advertisers are having problems about this. So I'm going to be in that session for sure. I'm excited about this talk by Devin. And then we've got talk by Aaron about reporting. There we go. That's going to be awesome because what we find is we do marketing activities and we map to results. That is the goal. But we want to make sure we tell that story up and down the organization as well. Yeah. This is super important. And then we've seen this, a lot of traffic on websites which doesn't convert. So Randall and Kevin's talk, I'm super excited about that because they're going to be talking about landing pages, design elements, just to make sure with people that are interested enough to come to your site, how do you capture more of them and get them to the next step, whether that's contact us, a demo, or even a mailing list.
Yeah, This, I tell you, I'm super excited for this one right here. This is a hot topic. Two of your colleagues here, and so just think, and and I'm even speaking for myself. Like I'm not casting stones. It's like how many people come to I won't speak for anybody else. My website and just like, hey, this isn't what I'm looking for. When maybe it would have been a great fit, but we just weren't speaking the right language. Didn't make that great first impression, that type of thing. And so yeah, this is and let's hit that. I'll put it out to both of you guys. For manufacturers. Say, let alone, God bless our manufacturers. Sometimes that, they have that website from maybe 2005.
Yep.
What do you guys have any tips, advice? Like, what's a starting point? Because it's intimidating. They think that they're going to get hit with, thousands and thousands of dollars, so they don't do anything. Kasey, any advice that you would share for a manufacturer? Just, they really need a makeover. Any tips there?
Yeah, well, I would say my first thought when we were talking about this, especially this session.
Yeah.
Even if you, Kurt, like you said, your website might need a refresh. You may have done everything right in a refresh 4 or 5 years ago, and you're like, and it looks polished and new and it's up to date. But coming to a conference like this and learning from Randall and Kevin, you're like, oh, I could actually add this landing page, or I could change this setting on a landing page, or I could just take these things that they're doing and slap it into it looks good. The website looks good, but there's like still some tactics that you could implement. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to mention that there, because we're fixing and readjusting our clients' websites all the time, even if they look polished. So even if it looks polished, you still have room to improve no matter what. But yeah, you do see those that look like they're from the early 2000s. Yeah. And it could be, there's so many different things you could do. You could do the rebrand, which is like a huge overhaul, and change the fonts and change your marketing colors and everything. Or you could just take it page by page and make sure you're hitting your money page. I just learned that term from one of our podcast guests, but make sure you're updating the most valuable pages first with content and creative.
Yeah, love it. Moby, what would you add?
I wrote these two things, which is number one, for a website, for messaging, you see so many websites that are like leadership and excellence is what's in their banner, or it's like innovation and X. And it's like, I have no idea what you're doing.
Yes.
Please tell me what you do. And number two is make it easy to make it contact you, which is simple contact us form. Those are the two things. Just tell me what you do and make it easy for me to reach out to.
Yeah.
It is amazing how many websites don't do that.
Right. Yeah. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. All right. So I'm going to keep cruising down.
Oh, I'm super excited for what's above this, the round table. We're going to have, we're going to divide it into different sections, that room. We're going to have round tables in which people talk about the CRM that they have. And we're going to have moderators asking questions, facilitating conversation to be like, how do we solve our biggest challenges? And we're going to have a long session about this. This is that peer-to-peer connections that we really want to build.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kasey.
Well, I was just going to say this session, the roundtable session, came from feedback from last year, because it was a Gorilla 76 workshop, and they broke out into CRMs, but it was only like 15, maybe 30 minutes at the very end of the workshop. And that thing could have gone on for an hour more, because everybody was talking about how they're using HubSpot better, what kind of integrations are they using for Salesforce. And so that was exactly why we had this session. There won't be a speaker. It's literally everybody in a community sharing what they know with the rest of the group. So that one I'm really excited for too.
And I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm not a CRM guy at all. And I was in that session. I sat there and I'm just kind of like, oh, this isn't really for me. When they did the breakouts, I'm going to tell you, it all of a sudden became one of the highlights for the whole week. You put us in a group, because I was in the group that I was like the non-CRM group, Yep. And all of a sudden I met a group of people that I normally wouldn't have interacted with. I met people from different states. We all clicked, and it was just a dynamic conversation. And I'm like, man, for a session that I almost thought about not going to, it really wasn't resonating with me. But then also when you guys went in the groups, I thought it was a total home run, and I loved it. And so kudos to you guys for you listened to listened to your crowd and came back with it. So that was great. Okay. Here's a sneak peek for the research that you were talking about, Kasey. You want to hit this for a second?
Well, I don't know anything it's not released yet. So I actually am super excited to know from last year to this year what things will change. Like I can imagine maybe video gets more hits. I think we had a question on the first time last year with Reddit. So that's something that everyone's really interested in right now is, are technical buyers using Reddit, or is it just like this random search traffic that is getting higher and higher? So learning what that engineering report, and I from TREW Marketing don't have anything to do with the report, so I'm like on my pins and needles too, trying to figure out what's going to happen there. But just we forgot to mention that these sessions are broken out in 2 tracks. So there's a strategy track, which can be they're all for all levels, but there's a strategy track that's more about stakeholders and like the overall brand strategy. But then we also have a technical or a tactical track. So that's getting into the nitty gritty analytics, that cookie list feature thing. So you'll see back and forth like different styles of sessions too.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And I've had the privilege, I think the past several years that Wendy and we've either presented at Purdue or she's been on the live show. And I'll tell you, the information is truly mind blowing. Like in the fact that you guys do this and just give it away for free is I cannot describe how generous that is for true leadership to take the time, the energy, and to do this.
Well, I think that's what we've all learned, Gorilla 76 and TREW. And I coach any of my clients this: give your information away, be valuable, and teach. And that it translates to business. Absolutely. Like you don't need to gatekeep anything. They will still come to you.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. So, all right. So take a look here. So, hey, we've got our dear friend Megan. Jacob's been on the show. And Jennifer. So again, this is going to be another talk about branding for recruiting for the next generation. This is going to be a hot topic. Hey, who's that crazy guy, man? So this will be a fun one here. So just met up with our guys yesterday. So we're plotting this out. We're going to do a little live show, Damon, at the end of the month with our team here. And let's take her home, guys. Any last things, Moby, that you want to add that you're super excited at as we come down the bottom here?
I am excited to meet every single person who's going to be there. Last year, it was great. The conversations we had while having coffee, waiting on the bus, in between sessions. It's fantastic. And there's so many people I didn't get to meet, which is like, Kurt, I didn't get to meet you.
Dude, I'm you know what? We're going to make up for that, my friend.
I know. And so I'm really excited to seeing everyone and just being like, oh, I know you through LinkedIn. Let's go. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right. Yeah. So, okay. So Kasey, let's talk about, we're going to wind down on this. So everybody can go, we're at industrialmarketingsummit.com. They can register at this little button right there. It says register. Just book their plane ticket. Don't even think about it, right? Just do it. Right? Is that the whole point here or what?
Absolutely.
Yep, exactly. And if you can't come, we do have digital passes. I know it's getting down to the wire where people are going to start not being able to book their flights or not get approvals in time. And so I always like to mention that at the end there too, is there's a digital pass that you'll get all the content, almost everything. Like we won't have some things that are harder to record, but a digital pass is a good way to go too. You'll still get most of those sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Digital is better than not going, but Moby, come on, let's be honest. They just got to go. Like they just can't not go, right? Like, okay. All right, Damon, we got, I don't know, we have any, I see a couple comments here.
Yeah, we do. Muhammad, he just said, thank you very much for sharing such information and great news. And someone said something about executive orders affect this industry. I mean, when you think about that, I'm just like, manufacturing in the U.S., we're pretty safe.
Yeah. And Muhammad did ask, can you join it online? And so, again, go to Industrial Marketing Summit. You're here on LinkedIn. We have it all over the place on LinkedIn. Go to TREW Marketing. Go to Gorilla 76. Just, or just book a flight to Austin. Just wander around. We'll find you. We'll find you. So you just show up. So Kasey, as we start winding down, what would you say for anybody that's kind of on the bubble thinking about going to Industrial Marketing Summit? Let's push them over the edge.
Well, everyone has already said the great points of it's a building community. You're absolutely meeting your counterparts across the U.S. Everyone who is working in a manufacturing and engineering company, everybody's going to be there. So you're going to learn from your peers. And one thing that I like to stress, because I am on the speaker side of things and the programming side of things, is that we are very, very passionate about bringing value to every single session. So it's not just professional speakers that are phoning it in and saying the same presentation they give at every conference. Like, we're making sure they're tailored to this audience. There's industrial marketing examples. There's key takeaways that we are pushing all of our presenters to make sure, hey, you need to have something that everybody in attendance will walk away and learn from your presentation. So I know everyone on the organizing team is really passionate about bringing value to each session.
Love it. Moby, it's somebody that's on the bubble, on the edge, push them over. Why should they be there?
If you want to meet people who are in the trenches just like you are every day, this is the place to connect with them, make more friends, get more ideas, and just be better at what you do.
Yeah.
Man, that's short but sweet. I love it. So, okay, guys, we're going to wind down. Kasey, last question for you. I might have one more, but last question. Marketing advice. Okay, you're just a fierce marketer for manufacturers. What would you say is the best marketing advice that you've received, or what's best marketing advice that you'd like to pass along that somebody could apply today?
Okay, I have one that came up immediately in my mind because it's what we're preaching right now, is to be everywhere that your audience is. At first, and I mean that because right now everybody's search results are going down, like organic traffic is sinking. The email newsletters aren't performing as much as possible. So if you have your eggs all in one content basket, one area, that might not work anymore. So be everywhere. Public relations is becoming more popular for industry publications. LinkedIn, making sure you have a social media strategy. So just all those layers have to be met. I mean, if you're strapped for resources, I get it, but you do want to kind of differentiate your strategy at this point.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. So, Moby, my friend, I'm not asking the same question. What was the name of the captain in Moby Dick?
I've never read it. I did read the summary. I went through the entire summary last week, all the details and what it's about. I've heard some, I don't know. There's fans of the books. I'm sorry, I've heard it's boring.
So
I'm sorry.
I had to add. Damon, do you know that answer? Kasey,
Nope.
do you know that answer?
No.
So it was Melville wrote the book, right? Melville wrote Moby Dick. I think it was Captain Ahab, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Oh, there you go.
So, all right, Moby, now I'm going to come back to you. The question I just asked Kasey, I'm not going to ask you. Moby, the singer, what was his top song? What was the top song that Moby...
You just got trivia questions.
I'm teasing you, Moby.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Because I don't know.
But,
Yeah.
Because of the hair, I'm a huge Moby fan. So all right, Moby, same question for you, my friend. Top marketing advice that you would love to pass along to somebody that's maybe kind of starting out or just kind of figure out this whole digital marketing thing for manufacturers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think if you're going to invest in a channel, whether it's content or it's ads or it's social media, I think do less things, but do them really well. For example, what Kasey said is a perfect example of taking content and a social strategy, but doing it well by diversifying. I just do less things, but do them really well, and just take them to the logical extent where you're like, we can't saturate this channel anymore, or this one or two things that we do. We can't do them much better. We're only getting incremental increases in positive results if we put in 20% more input. How about we just add something else? You want to get to that point. So just whatever you're going to do, invest in it because it takes some time for it to work.
Love it. Great. Drop the mic, dude. That was a great answer, man.
And I have to say, if anyone needs advertising like inspiration, you guys have to follow Moby. He does a great job on his videos and he gives away a lot of his knowledge. I've learned a lot from advertising strategy from Moby, so follow him for sure.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Follow Moby on. All right, so Moby, I have one last question for you.
Yes.
You ready? You sitting down? You ready?
Ahab.
Okay. Melville. he's googling Moby songs right now. All right, Moby. When you are the MC at the Industrial Marketing Summit, okay, are you fired up? Do you get a little nervous? Like, what's that look like?
Oh, super nervous. Like you just said it in my hands. But I love it. My only fear, the only fear I ever have is actual fear is I just don't want to get sick. Otherwise, I'll make it through. The nerves are great. I'm excited. Whatever happens, I will definitely be shaking my boots right before, but we'll get through it.
You'll be shaking in your boots. All right. So when it starts, Kasey, when it starts, what is your what's your walk-up song, Moby? So when the conference
What they
starts
playing when you
and
come
like
out?
Moby, like it's Moby time, he's coming on stage. What song does Kasey need to play? Like, what's your walk-up song?
You ready?
I like the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. That's a good one.
Immigrant song. I like, dude, you went old school, man.
Yes.
Man, that's like our gen. Like Damon, that's like our generation.
That's a good song.
That's a great song. I love that song. Kasey, do you have what's your walk-up song?
Well, hopefully I won't be walking up to anything because I am behind the scenes for sure. But yeah, maybe Taylor Swift, anything, but
Nice.
There you go.
Shake It Off, right? A little Shake It Off.
Exactly.
Would that get you up there? So, all right. Well, Damon, what a great conversation. Any thoughts, comments? What do you got for?
Well, I was going through as they were talking, going through the lineup again, and it's just so full of great people and great information that you're going to be able to do. And like Kasey was saying, if you can't get there, go on the Industrial Marketing Something website, grab yourself a digital pass. You'll get most of you'll get a lot of the information other than the experience of being there. If you can go to Austin. But really, I mean, the people that are talking there are people that know and have to do it every day. Not just like Kasey said, not somebody that, is on the public speaking tour kind of, doing their thing. These are people that are grinding it out every day, helping people build good businesses, manufacturing with their marketing. So it's gonna be a great event.
It's going to be fire. So, all right, guys. First off, I want to give a huge, heartfelt thank you to both of you. I know how busy you are. Kasey, you've got a conference to run here in 2 weeks, man. So, like, you are busy. Moby, you're going to be emceeing. So I know you've got the microphone. Are you running around the house with a microphone, like practicing?
Practicing all the time.
That's right. So I absolutely love it. So hang out with us for 1 second. But as we close down, and in all sincerity, thank you both. I appreciate you. Appreciate both your teams. We just had the respect and admiration we have. Love our partnership with both Gorilla 76 and with TREW. Just the leadership and what you guys are doing. And I don't know where they find this talent, Damon, because like every time we bring someone on from Gorilla 76, we had Sultan on last year. She was phenomenal, and just everybody we brought on from TREW. Morgan's been on the show. We're just great, wonderful people. So I want to thank you both. I wish you just monster success coming into the conference. And Damon, as we close out, man, just what do I like? Just be someone's inspiration, just like these two. And hey, how about a big round of applause, right? Just be an inspiration like these two. You'll make the world a better place. Damon, hang out with us, guys. Damon, close us out, will you?
All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here today. Love all the comments in there from Usman, Zafar, Muhammad, and others. I can't see who you are, but thank you so much for being here today. And those of you that got in late, you want to go back to the beginning, start over, because the Industrial Marketing Summit 2025, if you are in industrial marketing, it's something you definitely want to learn about. In case he talks about getting a digital pass in this. So get back there to the beginning, start over, and come back through the whole thing. We appreciate you out there every week. Love being able to do this. Thanks to Moby and Kasey for being here today. Again, we're doing the sneak peek behind the scenes at the Industrial Marketing Summit 2025. We'll be back again next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll finish up offline.
See you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.